Alright guys, it is 7 minutes in heaven. These are our favorite scenes from Doctor Strange.
Now, when we talk about 7 minutes heaven, let's jump right into it. You're fans of the show, you know how we do. We talk about what really made us feel really, really good, and really the scenes in the film that really took us to a place I call the astral dimension. And with that being said, guys, one of my first scenes is when the Ancient One falls to her death. To me, the thing that bothered with me about that, it was a good scene, like a tragic scene, but like there was no blood. And I understand it's a Marvel company thing like that, but like all that stuff. But like when she fell to her death, it was just kind of like, damn. Like not like when I start out by saying there's no blood. To me, the really thing that's me up is she tells us later, I've seen my death so many times. Like, damn, that like up.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
My number 3 favorite scene in the film is when he first goes to the Carmitage. Is that what it's called? Carmitage?
Yes, Carmitage. Very good.
Okay. When he first goes there to meet her, that whole interaction with them, the forget everything you think you know scene, the fact that he says that and he goes in and he does not forget everything he thinks he knows. And that scene was just so intriguing to me because it's a doctor and like this metaphysical faith healer essentially having an intellectual conversation, and neither of them are really disrespecting the other one, and it was a very interesting
somebody
dialogue.
was disrespecting her. Benjamin Cumberbatch, Stephen Strange, was disrespecting her. Before he walks in, Mortal says, "I once too stood where you stood, and I was also disrespectful." Before he walked in,
so let me rephrase that. There was nobody punching down.
Okay, yeah.
So I just thought it was the dialogue in that scene was fantastic.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Now, this is one of my favorite scenes because we hear the foreshadowing is Doctor Strange's character mentions to Wong that, hey, have you never heard of Beyonce? He's like, who are you talking about? And later, Wong is listening to Beyonce, but not just Beyonce, a song. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. What does Dr. Stephen Strange like? He likes knowledge. He likes reading. So he went to the library, but he didn't just go to the library. He used his what? Sling ring. If you like it, should have put a sling ring on it. That was one of my favorite scenes that just got paid off. Guys, hire us. This is what we do.
I love the whole interaction between Wong and Strange.
You mean B squared? B squared? Benjamin Wong, Benjamin Cumberbatch. Wake up, Caecilius!
Yeah, from the first scene where he's like, do you laugh? And then finally he gets to laugh at the end. It was a cool relationship.
Very cool. You wanted more?
My number 2 is the first showdown between Caecilius and Doctor Strange. I like where he says, you don't know how to use that, do you? And he doesn't know how to use it, but he figures out a way to improvise. That scene is also so powerful because that's when the Relic chooses him, and that was such a cool moment, even for somebody that's not a superhero fan like myself. That was the cape had such a cool personality and life to it. It was kind of like watching the magic carpet come to life in Aladdin, in like an adult version of that. And then the cape comes and saves his life in that moment when he rises up, and you kind of know what's gonna happen, but it was still awesome to see the way they pulled it off. And so there's the powerful moments in that scene, but then there's also the some of the most hilarious moments in the whole movie where he's like, where he first comes in and he's like, he's like Doctor or Mr. and then Doctor Strange is like, it's Doctor, and he's like, Mr. Doctor.
But it's strange.
Then it comes,
I'll admit that, but it's okay.
And then you get the punchline to that, like the cherry on top of that cake that they built. That's at the end of that scene where he's like, "There's no way to stop this, Mr. Doctor." that was just a great scene altogether. The first showdown between them, and that it even goes from there into that's where it goes into the hospital, right? He draws the portal into the hospital, and you have the whole battle between his astral projection and the other guy, and watching like him use the medical science he knows about mixed with this new like whatever it is that he's used, magic, that to combine those two things in order to defeat that guy in the hospital using the defibrillator. It was awesome.
My number one is when the cloak attacks one of Caecilius's minions. It's the first time we see the cloak. Like Doctor Strange is injured because guess what? After the I request the elaboration scene. Watch WandaVision if you don't know what I mean. But and this is foreshadowing because it happened way before WandaVision when Caecilius and Stephen Strange are having the one line we haven't mentioned, and it's actually blasphemy if we don't, is when he say we're just moments and it's momentary specks in time and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. Stephen Strange said that early in the film. So when he's saying that and him have that conversation, he laughs, and then he was like, "Why are you laughing?" He was like, "Because you don't believe." He's like, "No, because you lost your sling ring." Once that happened, and Stephen Strange is he's about to die. He doesn't have his sling ring. His fucking cape goes into fucking Super Saiyan mode. It's like, "Hey, come here, bitch." Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm looking. If I had a female that was loyal like that, that's my cape. Yeah. Are you like that's the best shit ever? Like a gun, a knife, a shotgun. I don't even want no alien spaceship. Give me that cape. Mm-hmm. That cape ain't around. It was like stop, stop. That's like get the out of here.
Comes with a sense of humor too.
There you go.
My number one scene is I've Come to Bargain. That was the ultimate payoff to the Doctor Strange story. There was so much parallel poetry in that scene. His whole character arc was all about it's not about you. When the movie first opened up, I'm like, this dude is such an egotistical asshole. There's no way I'm gonna be able to root for this guy. He's talking about how I do no harm. I'm all about saving lives. When you're riding around, speeding across around the mountain on the highway, and you're zipping in and out of cars, going into the oncoming traffic, risking other people's lives, like no. And
it's funny you say that. It's not funny.
She put him in his place. But
real quick, give me 10 seconds. What's the flip side of that? If he did get in that accident and he called somebody else accident, there's no movie called Doctor Strange. It's some paralyzed and their kids don't get to see their dad and mom grow up.
Mm-hmm. But his whole story is about his selfishness, him only really caring about himself, and I even have a line about that. It's one of my favorites that I'll say in the next segment. But in that moment, I've Come to Bargain. That scene was like his redemption right there. He expressed ultimate selflessness. He was willing to die over and over. Like Jesus died.
But you'll die for an eternity.
Jesus died once to save the world.
To our knowledge. To what we were told.
Huh?
To what we were told.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm gonna f you up. Look at the camera right now. Give me 10 seconds. Did you not read the one of the strangest yet realist theories out there? That while he was doing that timeline, the ripple of that time effect between Doctor Strange and Dormammu is what created the Groundhog Day. He was living the same timeline as
I had not read that.
That's out there, but that's bro. Come into this world with me.
But he was willing to die over and over again. And the other thing about that was he was always so afraid of failure. He was like, it wasn't about being successful. It was about not being a failure. And he was willing to fail over and over and over again at like, I've come to bargain, fail. I've come to bargain, fail. I've come to bargain, fail. So not only was he willing to die, he was willing to fail, which is almost worse for him.
So what you're saying, he was a successful failure?
I'm gonna teach him a lesson.
Yes, he did succeed failing over and over and over again, and was succeeding at ultimately winning in the game of wit against him. So he's sacrificing himself so the world could live, and yeah, I thought that was, at the end of the day, he defeated his own demons, which is why I said I thought it was cool to find out that it was his voice that he was actually bargaining with, or attempting to bargain with. So that's my number one scene, is the finale, or the I guess you would say the big boss fight at the end of the movie. If you want to feel like a superhero or a supervillain, check out Aimbot Energy. They are locally produced right here in Jacksonville, Florida, locally owned and operated. They produce a healthy alternative to energy drinks that doesn't give you the sluggish feeling when it wears off.
You mean the crash?
The crash. The 3 o'clock crash. It is 100% natural. They use a perfect balance of nootropic to enhance your focus and multitasking, your memory and your critical thinking, your blood flow, because that is actually important.
Does it help serotonin?
it does help the serotonin, and I would use it specifically just for that if that was the only nootropic in aimbot energy. Aimbot has 0 sugars, 0 calories for those of you that care about that kind of stuff. It comes in 4 flavors: blue raspberry, fruit punch, green apple, and straw kiwi. This stuff is so powerful that they recommend if you are a new user of aimbot, you only use half the bottle, because a full bottle will kick your ass. Right now with our discount code, you can get a 4-pack for under $10. You can get 40, which is regularly $100, for $85. So go right now to aimbotenergy.com/discount/TTFT. Support Aimbot Energy, local business, support our show, independent. We're all happy, and you are the best version of yourself. Aimbot Energy.
David, why roll your bot when you can aim your bot?
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.